Hi guys! So for this video, this is about just a review, short review actually, about Ed and Rose's latest episode for the 90-day Fiance. So this is when the time that both of them already got intimate, according to Ed. And again, it's too early to tell the real intentions of Rose. I mean, I'm not judging Ed physically because that's just not right. So I'm trying to look into how he treats Rose. And he's a really good guy, as I mentioned to you, if from the other a video review that I did for them. He's a really good guy, and it seems to me that he treats Rose good, except for the fact that he wants an STD test, as Rose mentioned or pointed out. If you trust someone, but again, it can be like either or. If you trust someone, you'll not really ask them to do that. But I also understand Ed's point of view, because they just met and then Rose wasn't just that opened, wasn't open to him about her past. So that's understandable if he's asking for STD test from Rose. But then again, he retracted it. He retracted his decision to do that, which is good. That made the relationship a bit stronger at that standpoint. So, but it's funny when Ed also mentioned about Rose having hairy legs. That's one thing as well. My husband was actually surprised that my legs are not hairy. Because the exes, I'm pretty sure he's referring to his exes, that they have like hairy legs, and that just doesn't seem ladylike. But again, we can't judge people or women that or who has hairy legs. I mean, but I really can't relate too much because I don't have to do that. I don't have to shave my legs every time. Mine's hairless, so I think I'm not one, but I'm like I know some, like my sister. Her legs are also not hairy, but she has to at least shave once in a while. In my case, I really don't have to, because it's like my arms. If you look at this, you can there's like barely really hair there. So the same as my legs, it's the same. I don't really have too much hair. If I do have hair, it's like very smooth, and but yeah. So it's funny when he pointed it out, because my husband usually I it reminded me of my husband asking me about it. So yeah, but not all Filipinas are hairy either. Most that I've known don't have to like shave their legs all the time, but there's a few. I mean, in the population, Filipina population, that has hairy legs. So but not all Filipinos are the same anyway. Again, you can't judge one from the other. you know so that's one thing that was like really funny as well in that episode. But the good thing about it is that Rose shaved her legs, so good job. She did that, making me think that she does have feelings for Ed. I just don't know exactly the intention, but yeah. if she doesn't have if she didn't have feelings, I don't think she's gonna do that. Like, why would you want a person telling you to do things? So I think she does have a little bit of feelings for Ed. um what else did I find really that attracted my attention to that episode as well is um Ed going to Rose's place in Caloocan. And Caloocan is actually a place that my husband and I married. This is just in paper, but we actually married in Makati, but on paper we married in Caloocan. So I didn't. When I was in Manila, I didn't really have time to go to those, to that part. Um, but when I saw that on TV, you have to remember there's places in Manila that are also high end. So not all the places are like that. Probably most, there are like really, I would say squatters. We call it squatters area or slum area, but you can't judge that. You can't judge that one place when it comes to the entirety of Manila or Luzon. So Caloocan, that was just, I'm sorry to say it, it was really nasty when I saw it. There's just it wasn't clean. I mean, I've seen places like that too, but because I'm Filipino, I guess I'm used to that, I would say. But still, that wasn't just the even me, I didn't expect the place to be that bad. So that's why I can understand how Ed described it. I understand how he thought, and it's funny when he mentioned he thinks it is a third world country. So Philippines is a third world country, but it doesn't mean that the whole place is actually full of poor people. I mean, yeah, majority probably, but there's still a lot of high-end places in the Philippines as a whole. Again, nice beaches, um, tourist areas, tourist spots. So that's just one place that's one of those that are in that slum area. So, and as we saw there's just a lot of street food again because of the COVID-19. I would understand that. Oh, shoosh, you'll you'll really think that it's nasty and stuff like that. But as a native of the Philippines, I live eating street food. But then again, I don't eat bats. I don't eat dogs either. So that's a whole kind of like brand of street food. When you say that, so it's just street food like chicken skin. I mean, that's just cooked, at the street. But it doesn't mean that it's some of them you really have to be careful. Of course, you have to choose. Vendors. You have to look how the vendor like be aware, as well as like you have to know, like if the vendor looks dirty, why will you buy stuff there, right? So this you just have to think about it. But going back to Ed and Rose's, so when they went already to meet the family, that's sweet though that they kind of like have a gathering there. It's kind of awkward about between Rose's sister Maria, I think the name, and Ed, because as we know, Maria already kind of like asked for money from Ed, which is actually not advisable, to do. So it was kind of like awkward, awkward between them. But it was sweet. I have to point it out. It was sweet. And it's usually like that in the Philippines too. When they have a visitor, we usually have, even here. I feel bad sometimes when my in-laws visit and I don't have anything like food for them. But here they're used to like just visiting, and they don't expect you to cook for them. In the Philippines, it's really we're very hospitable when it comes to visitors, um, or family members and all that. We usually have something for them, no matter how small it is, no matter how simple the food is. We usually have something for them to at least snack on or eat, and that's one, like I would say, virtue of the Filipinos that are really nice. So yeah, no matter how simple the food is, they'll really ask you if if you want to eat, you want to drink, or if you want to drink or something like that. They're very hospitable. So that's one thing that I liked when I saw that. So they welcomed Ed, even though they're, as we say, poor. At least they gave Ed the hospitality, um, and they welcomed him. So, as far as the whole place is, though, it was pretty much, yeah. You can say the house is not in good shape, as you can tell. Again, not all of that, not all of the houses are like that in the Philippines, and it's just that those are like, it's unfortunate that they have, we have like people who live, or who lives like that, or people who lives like that. Um, yeah, it's sad to see that, but I think as long as they're living in an honest way. The dad, I think, is a tricycle driver, a trike driver, which is good. That's an honest way of living. And the way he looks is actually a good. I think is a good person too. So the only thing that I have to take note of, was Ed was asking him about, is it okay that I'm like 1 year older than you? Um, he's actually honest when he asked the dad about it, but I don't think you should, you know. Although, well, that's good that he's kind of like honest about that part. Um, but I don't think the dad kind of like really wanted to answer that either. It's more of what's your intention with my daughter, like my dad too. My dad was kind of like almost the same as like that with my husband when they first met. Um, but my dad really liked my husband too, so there's a little bit of interrogation that happened there as well. This is almost the same as Ed and the dad. So again, you cannot judge how, I mean, it's understandable that most will think that maybe Rose is really just using Ed to get out of the situation, because as you can tell, the situation there was like, it's not great. So if you say that, yeah, maybe Rose is just actually using Ed to get out of the Philippines and get a better and have a better life, well, that's her right to do that. um but not everybody is like that either, so I can't judge her. But we'll see what happens. But I think Ed really loves her. It's still a question mark for me what her real intentions are, but I think she also fancy Ed in a way. But we'll see in the coming episodes. It's getting interesting so far, so we'll see. Yeah, but I'm hoping for the best for the both of them, and as well as the kid, the prince. I think he's a cute kid. Um, calling Ed daddy is a little bit too much for me though. Like, well, It just depends on how Ed takes it, but I think he's also a little bit uncomfortable being called daddy. But hey, if you say yes to that, you have the right to say no. But if you said yes to it, then that's what it is. So we'll see. But it's a pretty interesting episode. There's a few funny clips here and there. So yeah, thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. Stay safe.